I already gave him his warning. Fight like your life depends on it, because it does.
Mike Tyson has just sent Jake Paul a brutal warning that his end is near, and the boxing world is going absolutely nuts over this leaked footage. I mean, for the past 3 months, Tyson was just minding his own business, focusing on his training, and hitting those daily punching targets. But then Jake, in classic Jake fashion, pulled off something so ridiculously silly that Tyson finally snapped. And let me tell you, when the silent lion finally roars, every mouse in the room is scrambling for cover. At first, it's important to know the scoop of Tyson's insane dedication to this fight. Mike Tyson is training like an absolute beast. At 57, the guy is pushing himself harder than ever, like he's got something to prove to the whole world. His training routine is a mix of old-school boxing drills and the latest conditioning techniques. This man wakes up at 4 a.m. every single day. Yeah, before the sun even thinks about rising. He starts with a brutal 5-mile run, and that's just his warm-up. Then it's on to hours of high-intensity interval training. We're talking speed, power, endurance, the whole shebang. When Tyson hits the gym, it's nothing short of legendary. His sparring sessions are pure carnage. He's going toe-to-toe with younger, hungrier fighters, and let's just say they usually leave the ring looking a bit worse for wear. Tyson's aggression and power are off the charts, and his focus, unbreakable. The guy's in a zone, blocking out everything except his training.
Day 3, you still want to f with me?
And let's not even get started on his diet. It's all lean proteins, complex carbs, and veggies. Everything meticulously planned to fuel his grueling workouts. Despite being 57, Tyson's showing the same dedication that made him a boxing legend. His trainer, Rafael Cordero, said,
I'm super excited. It's a professional team.
But why is Tyson so fired up? Insiders say it's deeply personal. After years away from the ring, he's on a mission to silence his critics and show he's still one of the most formidable fighters around. His ferocity in training sends a clear message to Jake Paul. Don't take him lightly. This isn't just a comeback for Tyson, it's a statement. His eyes have that fire, that burning desire to reclaim his place at the top. The boxing community is already feeling the impact of Tyson's intense training. His sparring partners? They talk about him like he's a force of nature. One fighter said, "When you're in the ring with Mike, you feel like you're in a war zone. He's relentless, he just keeps coming at you, and you can see in his eyes that he means business. And it's not just physical. Tyson's working on his mental game too, teaming up with sports psychologists to keep his mind as sharp as his fists. This holistic approach is paying off big time, and Tyson looks more formidable than ever. Jake Paul better be ready, because Tyson's coming at him with everything he's got." As Rafael Saeed,
Hit the bag set, hit the meats, hit bags, did his strength conditioning, his diet. He have a group of people around him. I'm one of those guys that work with a lot of people around.
But while Mike Tyson is out there training like his life depends on it, Jake is acting like he's got a date with a bouncy castle, not a boxing ring. Seriously, Jake doesn't seem to realize he's about to face the baddest man on the planet, not just for a casual meetup. While Tyson is up at 4 a.m. running miles and smashing through workouts, Jake's busy living it up, like he's preparing for a reality show instead of a fight. Jake Paul's Instagram is a treasure trove of parties, glamorous events, and him hobnobbing with celebs. Just last month, May 14th, there he was at some high-profile shindig in LA, hanging out with influencers instead of getting his butt into the gym. And this isn't a one-time thing. On June 2nd, instead of throwing punches, Jake was throwing out a prank video that went viral. Great for his social media, not so great for his boxing prep. Insiders are starting to sweat bullets over Jake's lack of focus. His trainers are reportedly losing their minds trying to keep him on track. One of them let it slip, saying, "Jake is treating this fight like another social media stunt. He's not putting in the work that's needed." Ouch. Word from Jake's camp is that training sessions often get cut short or skipped altogether because, well, making YouTube content seems to be his top priority. And it's not just hearsay. On June 10th, when Jake should have been in an intense sparring session, he was spotted at a beach party in Miami. Yep, while Tyson is busting heads, Jake's out there soaking up the sun and maybe a margarita or two. His trainers and advisors are in a panic, worried that his laid-back approach is going to end in disaster when he steps into the ring. A close buddy of Jake's summed it up. Jake's focus is all over the place. He's underestimating the challenge ahead, and it shows in his preparation. But as you know how they say, if you take something super important for granted, you're going to face the consequences. And Jake Paul is about to find that out the hard way. The weight mismatch between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is turning into a huge deal for their upcoming fight. They signed this fight contract on April 25, 2024, agreeing to a weight range of 190 to 200 pounds. This isn't just a random number. It's crucial for keeping things fair, balancing power and agility so no one has an unfair edge.
Ever since I moved up to the heavyweight division, Tyson Fury been real quiet. Tyson Fury, where the fuck you at, pussy? Boom! Arr!
Weight management in boxing is no joke. It affects everything: speed, stamina, overall performance. Fighters have to be on top of their diet and training to stay within the agreed range, because even a couple of pounds can make a big difference in the ring. Tyson has been all over this. At a solid 198 pounds, he's sticking to his weight plan like it's his job, because it is. His nutritionist, George Lockhart, who's worked with UFC champions, has Tyson on a diet of lean proteins, complex carbs, and essential fats. This keeps him in top shape, ready to unleash that explosive power and endurance. Meanwhile, Jake Paul, on May 30th, 2024, he weighed in at 210 pounds, way over the limit. His weight is all over the place thanks to his inconsistent training and, let's be real, his party lifestyle. Mid-June, he was seen chowing down on high-calorie foods at some fancy Hollywood party. Not exactly the diet of champions, right? Even Mike didn't hold back and exposed him, saying,
"Fat, but you had hard muscles, okay? But outside your muscles, you're..."
Now tell me, you might think good boys get all the rewards, right? Nah, not in Tyson's world. Good boys get a target on their back, and Tyson's got his sights set firmly on Jake Paul. So here's the lowdown. Tyson's prepping for this epic showdown, but life decided to throw a wrench in the works. On May 23, 2024, while Tyson was cruising at 30,000 feet from LA to New York for some promotional gig, his body decided it was time for a dramatic plot twist. Tyson experienced a nasty ulcer flare-up mid-flight. Yep, just when you think it couldn't get any more intense, Tyson's insides decided to stage their own rebellion. Cue the chaos. Tyson's condition spiraled faster than anything else. The flight crew didn't waste a second and declared a medical emergency. They touched down, and Tyson was whisked away to New York Presbyterian Hospital. Dr. Richard Stein, the poor soul dealing with this mess, said, "Mr. Tyson suffered a severe gastric ulcer flare-up, likely exacerbated by the stress and intensity of his training regimen. We administered intravenous fluids and medication to stabilize his condition. This wasn't just a little hiccup, it was a full-blown alarm bell." Tyson had to hit pause on his punishing training schedule. And let's be real, for a guy who eats discipline for breakfast, any disruption is a big deal. Tyson opened up about the ordeal in an interview on May 25, 2024. "It was a tough moment. I felt an intense pain that I hadn't experienced before. But I'm a fighter, and this is just another hurdle I have to overcome." His trainers had to pull a complete 180 on his regimen. Recovery became the name of the game, and high-intensity workouts were swapped for, well, not-so-high-intensity stuff. The medical team was on his case like white on rice, making sure he stuck to a balanced diet and got regular checkups. Dr. Stein chimed in again, "Mike's condition is stable now, but we advised him to avoid any extreme stress and to adhere strictly to his dietary plan to prevent further complications." Meanwhile, the media went nuts. Headlines like, "Tyson's ulcer scare, will it impact the fight?" were everywhere. Critics and fans were speculating like crazy. Could Tyson keep his edge? Was this going to affect his performance? The drama was thicker than a Hollywood blockbuster. But Tyson, unfazed, he was back at it, reassuring everyone that he still got it. On June 1st, 2024, he released a statement saying, "I've faced bigger challenges in my life. This ulcer is not going to stop me. I'm more focused and determined than ever." You gotta love his spirit, and then enter Jake Paul, stage left, stirring the pot. Paul's camp tried to make the most of Tyson's setback. Jake, Ever the social media provocateur, tweeted on June 3, 2024, something like, "Tyson's too old and fragile to handle this fight." Classic Jake trying to rattle Tyson's cage. But Tyson clapped back harder than a thunderstorm. "Age is just a number. I'll show you what a lifetime of fighting experience means when we step into the ring." So while Tyson's wrestling with his own body, Jake's out there thinking he's got the upper hand. But here's the thing. Tyson's a fighter through and through. He's battled bigger demons than an ulcer, and he's not about to let this bump in the road slow him down. If anything, it's adding more fuel to his already raging fire. Jake Paul's overconfidence is becoming a focal point as the fight with Mike Tyson approaches. From the outset, Paul has exhibited an unwavering belief that he could easily defeat the former heavyweight champion. This confidence, while commendable in some respects, has also led to a lack of seriousness in his preparation, a stark contrast to Tyson's rigorous training regimen. Now, don't think Mike will let him go after all this. The trailer of his fury was already on the display on June 10, 2024, during a sparring session that looked like something out of a Rocky movie. Tyson turned to the camera, eyes blazing like they were set on fire, and said, "You're stepping into my world. I'm going to finish you." Tyson's vibe in this video is nothing short of nightmare-inducing. His eyes were described by onlookers as blood-drenched. Yeah, not the kind of look you want directed at you. His face was pure focus, a stark reminder of the guy who used to send heavyweights to dreamland faster than a bedtime story. The power and precision in his punches were jaw-dropping. This wasn't the friendly, retired Tyson. This was the beast who once ruled the heavyweight division with an iron fist. Now this little video clip has sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Paul's camp, who previously strutted around with the confidence of a rooster in a henhouse, suddenly got real quiet. On June 11, 2024, Paul's trainer, BJ Flores, addressed the media and said, "We knew Tyson was serious, but seeing that footage, it's clear we're dealing with a different beast." You could practically hear the sweat dripping off his forehead. Jake Paul, who usually can't shut up about his chances, has been noticeably subdued. Insiders are saying he's more reserved now, and he even canceled a public training session on June 12, 2024, to focus privately. His brother Logan Paul spilled the beans on a podcast saying, "Jake's shaken. He knows Tyson means business. This isn't just another fight, it's a battle for survival." Imagine going from king of the internet to potential punching bag. Ouch. The boxing experts had a field day with this. Teddy Atlas, always ready with a soundbite, said on June 13, 2024, "Tyson's eyes in that footage. I've seen that look before. It's the look of a predator. Paul better be ready because Tyson isn't coming to play." The consensus is clear. Tyson's a way bigger threat than anyone, especially Paul, anticipated. So tell me, don't you agree with Mike that a Twitter poll by ESPN Boxing on June 12, 2024 showed a major shift. Now 75% of people think Tyson will win, up from 60% before the footage leaked. The betting odds flipped too. By June 13, 2024, Tyson was the favorite, according to BetMGM and DraftKings. Seems like everyone's placing their bets on the old lion. So what do you think? Have you seen that clip of Tyson delivering that brutal warning to Jake Paul?